used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
President Biden in the swing state of North Carolina today, rallying supporters after last night's debate, where his performance has made some Democrats fearful about prospects in November. Last night, California Congressman Robert Garcia was with the president ahead of the debate and also worked the spin room after the debate alongside Governor Gavin Newsom here in California. Congressman Robert Garcia represents Long Beach. He joins us right now. Thank you so much for being here. So going into the debate, a lot of Democrats and independents were looking for reassurance on the issue of President Biden's age. They wanted to see that he was strong and fit and ready to campaign. Do you feel better about those issues? Do you think voters feel better about those issues after last night?
I mean, look, I have felt confident in President Biden this entire time, and I think that he should be judged, like anyone, by the entire record. We've seen him as president now for over 3 years. We've seen him at campaign rallies. We've seen him at the White House. And yes, we've seen him, of course, at the debate. And like he said, I would have preferred his voice not to be raspy throughout the evening. But he today came out super strong in North Carolina and fired that crowd up. And so I have a lot of confidence in the president, and I think his record speaks for itself. It's about lowering healthcare costs, women's reproductive choice, investing in infrastructure, and quite frankly, someone that's going to protect democracy. So I think there is a choice here, and I think the president's moving forward, and we're looking forward to the months ahead.
But a big part of that is communicating that if you really think that democracy is on the line. And there are some left-leaning voices who are coming out against President Biden right now. We want to put up some of them on the screen. Basically, most of the folks at the New York Times, Thomas Friedman, Nicholas Kristof, Frank Bruni, the opinion section, God help us. A lot of these folks saying that they like President Biden, that they're friends with President Biden, that they voted for President Biden, but that he should not continue. Do you think that of all the candidates in the entire country, that Joe Biden in his 80s is the best candidate to beat Donald Trump?
Absolutely. And you know why? Because Joe Biden is the only person in the entire country that has actually ever beaten Donald Trump in a presidential election. So he's done it once before, and he's going to do it again. And I think that is critically important, that you have somebody with the experience and the wisdom. And yes, we know he is older. He jokes about that himself. We know that he is someone with a lot of experience, which also brings wisdom. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the record. And last night, yes, there was a lot. We can debate a lot about the style of the candidates and the style of Joe Biden's presentation, but the substance and what he said was solid. And today he came out again in North Carolina and I think knocked it out of the park.
But a debate I mean, it's more than just the substance. The style does matter when you're in the process of communicating something. And 4 years ago, he looked like a different person on stage. And a big part of the job is being able to brush back what Donald Trump is saying. I mean, you do not think that if you had a younger nominee who could respond faster, who could do more rallies, who could do more interviews, who could put in more places, that might be better for democracy?
Well, look, I agree with our governor, with Governor Newsom. I mean, the best person to beat Donald Trump is Joe Biden, who's already done it once. And so I support the president. I mean, the party is going to be behind the president. I don't think that the New York Times is exactly a great representation of most of the middle of America. And so at the end of the day, particularly not some of the columnists there, but so at the end of the day, we're going to have a binary choice. And let's remember who Donald Trump is. I mean, Donald Trump, in my opinion, and I think in most of Americans' opinions, is someone who led an insurrection against the Capitol. He's a convicted criminal. He attacks immigrants. He does not support a national right to reproductive health care in this country. And so that is the choice that will be in front of voters. There are many months still until the election. There will be another debate. And sure, I think everyone, including Joe Biden himself, who has mentioned it, would have preferred him not to have that raspy voice in the debate. but we've moved on from that. And I think that if you look at even some of the kind of quick polling of undecided voters in certain states, I mean, I think Joe Biden did fine, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to win the election in November.
All right, we will see in the days and weeks ahead what happens in terms of the polling coming into the debate. Of course, he was behind in most swing states. We'll see if he pops up ahead in the days ahead. And real quickly, what was it like being in that spin room?
I mean, look, the energy, of course, was incredible. I mean, I think obviously just to be there, supporting, representing the president, proud to be there with our governor, the two Californians there. We spent a lot of time together yesterday behind the scenes, and then out in the spin room. And I think we're all really proud of him as well.
All right, Congressman Robert Garcia, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.